on the looks, but let's go on to Doechii, because Doechii had a little bit of a situation involving the Met Gala. So, nowadays, since Doechii is on the rise, it comes with the hate train. They love to say, when you're underground, they love to say, oh, you guys should uplift Doechii, this and that, uplift so-and-so, uplift so-and-so. And then when it's their time to really uplift, and they're going up, and they're starting to get what they deserve. Oh, she's this. Oh, she's an industry plant. Oh, she doesn't like straight men. Oh, this. Oh, that. So now on the Doechii complaint docket, they are saying that they caught a glimpse of her kind of like going off on her team. So of course, on the Met Gala, they have the artists or the celebrities, at a hotel. Usually they have like some partnership going on with Vogue, where they're getting their stuff filmed for Vogue or Vanity Fair or whatever. Right. So they're usually in a hotel. And we have the celebrities that we're looking forward to seeing. So sometimes they film them walking to the car to go to the Met Gala. So sometimes they want to cover their looks up or whatever before they hit the carpet, because they're going to be filmed on the way to the thing. So with Doechii, of course she was dressed in Louis Vuitton head to toe, and before she was leaving her room, or before she was leaving her hotel, she had an issue with trying to cover up her look. They caught a glance of her. The paparazzi caught a glance of her outfit, and she wasn't ready for them to see it yet. So she tried to walk out. So at that point, when they caught a glance of her, she was pissed. She was like, oh my God, guys, no, like, give me my umbrella, give me my stuff. Actually, I can actually play it for you. Ooh, I gotta get off live. Okay, so I got some people in here or whatever, so that's good. But let me just get off of live. That was a fun little live. Ooh, how do I end this?
Keep it going.
Keep it going? Should I keep it going? I wanted to play the audio of Doechii like going off on her. Let me see if I can still do it if I swipe. Oh, I can't. Let me see if I can do it. I can pause the live and it'll pause and then it'll go back. So let me just do it that way. Okay, so the live is paused.
That's better.
Let me just do this. Let me go on here and play the audio of Doechii. So yeah, so I have it ready. But so she, she was trying to hide her look before her grand entrance. Right. And I guess her team, the team opened up the door and the paparazzi were outside waiting for her. So they caught a glimpse of her outfit. She was pissed and she was asking for her, like, hey guys, like, get me my stuff. I need more umbrellas. I need more cover-ups. Come on guys. And she was being aggressive with her, how she was, asking her team to chop. So people didn't like that. So I'm going to play a little clip of that right now. Hold on. I need another fucking umbrella. I need another fucking umbrella. Move the umbrella. So she was trying to like chop like this is her first like Met Gala entrance. She's wearing Louis Vuitton head to toe. Like we have to give a rollout. We have to give an entrance. So a couple things, right? I'm not going to go to okay. I have a couple of things with this, right? And I don't think I ever talked to you about like the specifics of this situation that I'm going to relate to on this. Maybe I have. I'm not sure. I tell J-Rob everything.
Yeah, I got here.
So a couple things, right? It's understandable her anxiety. No pun intended. No pun intended. No pun intended. Where's the?
It's one of them Jones.
Anywho, okay. So I understand she's anxious. Like, give me my fucking umbrella. Like, let's cover up this look. Whatever. I understand the anxious, the anxiety of it all. I understand all of that. But it is the way that you're talking to your team, sis. Like, that was a lot. It was a lot. It's understandable, but it was a lot. And then also on top of that, the look was amazing, but it wasn't giving what we all wanted it to give anyway. So it's like, you're doing all of this for this look that's like, girl, like, we've seen you in more grand ensembles than this.
Right.
Like, why are you doing all of that? But I get it. She doesn't want her look to be snapped until she gets on the carpet, whether you like it or not.
Right.
So I get it, right? I understand all of that. But okay, so I'm gonna draw two parallels with this, right? So I'm gonna talk about my thing last. So I always wanted to on the show, I talk about suggestions on like rollouts and like just marketing and how someone can do better, or what they should do when they publish their work, and what they should do, and blah blah blah. And I always had an interest in being on an artist team, right? So so like so there was a time when Law Roach, right? He's a stylist, and he's best known for like, styling Celine Dion. Zendaya is like one of his like, most notable clients. And at one point he announced his retirement, and he was only going to work with Zendaya, and that's it. He announced his retirement, and I couldn't find the clip, but I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, I may like misphrase this, but I got the gist of what he said. He was just saying, like, like, it's just his experience with working with different people. It gets exhausting sometimes, like mentally, and and it's just the fact that, like, he just, it's the burden of dealing with different people and them not understanding things. It's just that burden with, when you're working with someone or working for someone, it's always, you always have to adjust to that person. And you're not always going to get it right either, but you always have to adjust to that person. So he was talking about that, and then he was talking about how, like, just the fact that you're working for someone, and it's almost giving, like, you're disposable. That feeling of being disposable is also kind of like, it could take a toll on someone as well when you're working for someone, especially a celebrity, an artist of someone of a certain caliber. Sure. It's just the burden of you knowing that you work for them and you can be disposed of at any moment. Is that too? He kind of expressed that too. And with me, once again, like, I always wanted to, I always have suggestions and thoughts when it comes to different artists, and when they come out with their stuff, and I did want to work with artists and stuff like that when it comes to their rollouts and their strategies and things like that. And I actually took a shot at it, I think maybe like a year or two ago. I'm not sure if I discussed it with you, J-Rob, where I'm not going to say any names. I'm going to tell my experience. I'm not going to say any names, but it is my experience, so I'm going to tell it on my platform. Okay? Exactly. So I had a chance to work with like a DMV artist, right? And they needed help. Of course, like a lot of people, like when you're an artist, a lot of times you don't have a budget. People are doing favors for you off the strength. You got your friends in your corner helping you. Your friend is your manager. Your other friend is your this manager. Your other friend is that person to do that for you. Blah 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 blah. And but management. One thing I will notice, whether you are a big artist or not, management always makes sure that they get a cut of something. Okay, whatever show that you got booked, they make sure they get a cut of something. It may not be much, but they're getting a cut of something. We'll say that. But so I took an opportunity to help out a DMV artist, and I really wanted to do it because I really had a lot of ideas, and like, and I also I have a lot of ideas, and I'm also a graphic designer, so I'm good at creating promo material, editing promo material, understanding promo material, when the rollout should happen, with this, that, right? Anyway, so of course they didn't have a budget, but I was like, no, I'm going to help you, whatever. But I agreed to be someone to be more of a strategy for it. And like, if you need a flyer here and there, I could do the flyer, but I'm not coming on as like a full on graphic designer, because if that was the case, you won't have to pay me. That's you know what I'm saying? Right. But I came on as someone, as someone, as an aid to the strategy of the marketing, whatever. Right. So that was that. And then, so I was doing that or whatever. And so of course they were working with friends as well, and they were their friend. They actually the project. So we were focused on pushing a certain project for this person, and their friend. The project was produced and written under their friend's like label that they have going on. So of course the friend is involved on the meeting, on the group chats and the phone calls and stuff, along with me and their friend manager or whatever, and their other manager friend or whatever. Cool. They're all friends, right? And I'm cool with them, whatever, right? Whatever. So of course, and this is another reason why I don't like when artists like are signed under other artists, because the person that they were under, that their project was technically under, they were an artist as well, and they didn't have a budget or a team. They were asking for favors and off the strength of oh, you cool with me, help me do this, whatever, right? So of course, we're helping this one person with their project, and I agreed to help this one person. But of course, the person that they're signed under, they need help with their own shit, and they see that I'm helping this person, so they want to use me for their shit, right? So I'm like, okay, I'll help you with this or whatever, but like I never agreed to like be a full on person, because again, there's no budget, you cannot pay me. So why, my grown ass, why would I agree to be a full-on free worker for you? Absolutely not. No, you need help. So this person actually had a show coming up. The other person, the label, the person with the label. Right. The other person, we'll say the person that I agreed to help is singer number one, and the person that tried to piggyback is rapper number one, okay, or rapper. So singer and rapper. So right. So the rapper wanted me to, they had a show coming up in DC, because they moved to another state to like follow their dreams or whatever. But I guess even though they were in that state to follow their dreams, they didn't have really enough. They didn't have a lot to show for it, because they still needed you to do favors for them. Whatever, right? That's kind of backwards to me, but whatever, right? If you move to so and so, then you should be able to. You should have connect. If you moved from one place to another place and to get connections, you should have connections by now. You shouldn't be asking people that's still in DC to help you do shit. Anyway, so they saw that I was helping the singer out, so they wanted their own help. So they were asking me, like, they had a show coming up in DC, and they were like, "Oh, can you make me a flyer?" Right. Because they once again have expressed to me candidly on the phone, I don't have a budget, I don't got no money, whatever. Cool, right? I know broke very well. So if you like, listen, J-Rock, I have no problem with helping anyone at all. Like,
just don't take advantage.
Don't take advantage. But I had to learn the hard way with this. So anyway, they couldn't afford a graphic designer. They needed someone to make the flyer, to make the whatever for them, whatever, right? So I said, fine. Because they ended up making their own flyer on Canva. It sucked. They were like, please help me. Like, help me. I said, fine, cool, I'll make your. No, that's what it's true. It always works, right? So I said, fine, I'll make you a flyer real quick. So I stayed up late. Like, usually even though I work from home, it's still excruciating. I am a graphic designer for a major publication. So I covered multiple markets at my job, and it's very deadline driven. So everything I do is so I am exhausted. Even though I'm at home, I'm still exhausted mentally. Okay, so I took the time out of my day after I log out to stay up late and do their shit for them that I agreed to do. I'm not getting paid for it. I'm helping them. So I did the flyer for them, and they wanted a whole bunch of like different edits, like to like the wording, like, oh, you put so and so's name on here, take them out. The flyer looked good, but they wanted a bunch of like different wording and shit. Like I did all of it. I did all of it. I helped them. I did all of it. Right. Cool. Right. Free of charge. Whatever. You told me you're a broke ass nigga. Fine. I'll help you. Right. Fine. Cool. So I did that for them. So then back to me helping the singer. Of course, like, I'm like, hey, like, let's do this. I'm actually giving good ideas, and I'm actually like, I'm helping with the promo, and it's actually becoming beneficial to that singer, right? Right. The rappers seeing what I'm doing for them. And then he wants this now. He wants this now, and I'm like, okay, in my head, I'm like, I only agreed to do this flyer for him. I never agreed to work for him too. Like, what? Yeah, and you're not paying me. Do you want me to sit here and work for two grown ass niggas for free? Absolutely not. Absolutely. No. So he wanted me to do the same thing, do the other things, the same thing I was doing for the singer for him. So one day we were at the singer's show. We were at dinner before the singer had their show, and he was talking about the things that he needs for his show, right? Right. So I'm like, oh wow, okay. Do you have somebody to do this for you? I'm just asking questions. He's like, no. And I said, oh, okay, whatever. And then he's like, yeah, he was asking me, he was like saying, like, he was talking to me, right? He was saying like, oh yeah, because he has his label he has a name for his label, right? and he was just talking to me and stuff. He was like, yeah, you're on my label now. You're on my label now. Talking to me, right? And so I said, well, I was like, oh no. I said, we'll talk. In my head, I'm like, no, because you just told me you don't have no fucking money. So of course I'm no. So I'm just like, I said, we'll talk later, because I'm not gonna straight up tell him off in front of dinner. Like I'm not gonna do that. Right. So I'm like, I look at him, I'm like, we'll talk later. Let's talk later. He was like, no, you're on so and so. You're on so and so. You're on so and so. I'm like, we'll talk later, right? Whatever, cool. Didn't think about it. Whatever. The show went on. Whatever. We went home. Whatever, right? So what he usually does when we have group calls for the singer, after our group calls, he'll call me separately trying to see like what he can get out of me. Like, oh, can you help me with da, right?
That shit's so weird.
So after the whole day, after the days went by or whatever, right? So he's thinking, even though we're helping so and so, he's thinking about his own show that he has going on, right? So then after I did the flyer for him for free, right? He's calling me, asking like, hey, can you? He asked me like, because for the singer, so he would have shows, because it was a lot of things he had going on for his rollout of his project. He had like a lot of stuff booked, which is amazing. So what I would do was I would get little cards, like little 5x7 cards printed out, right, with his album cover on the card, and with the QR code for his album,
right.
So he can like little 5x7 handouts, like just hand them out at the show, whatever, yeah, with the QR code on it, and that helped his numbers on his streaming. So the scanning QR code, that was an idea I had, because like why wouldn't I have that? Because I'm like, come on now, I'm that bitch, like period. So anyway, so I did that. So the rapper wanted me to do the same thing for him. Mind you, I'm helping the singer. So I'm doing all these things and I'm spending my own money to help the singer, right? Which is, I agreed to help you.
Right.
And this is what I want to do. This is my passion. I want to help you and I know what to do. Right. So I spend my own money printing nice quality card stocks for him to get for me to hand out for him, right? The rapper wanted me to do the same thing for him. He wanted me to pay for his shit because he don't have no money. So I'm like, so he asked me like, hey, can you do the same thing you did for so and so, and can you get the cards print, like can you get like printouts done for me? I said okay. I said cool. So who's gonna go pick it up? Who's gonna go pick it? I'm like, so yeah, so who's gonna pay for it? Like I said, well, I can send the file to FedEx and you can have so and so go and pick it up, and they can go, because mind you, I live in Baltimore,
right, and
they're in another state, and the show that they have booked is in DC. They're from DC, so they're in another state, so they're asking us in DC to help them out with stuff, right? Or asking me, right? So I'm like, I said, hey, yeah, I can send the file, because I already made the flyer for him, so that's fine, right? So I said, I can send the flyer file to FedEx print, and you can have one of your friends, one of the manager friends or that work with so and so, you can have them go pay for it and pick it up, and they can go. He wanted me, mind you, all of them know that I live in Baltimore. He asked me to get 100 printouts made and put them around DC. I said, I can send the file to FedEx and you can have so-and-so go pick it up and they can pay for it and then they can go do it. I'm not doing that. That's what I said to him on the phone. And he was like, okay, like, cause he didn't want to ask the other niggas, cause the other niggas was going to tell his ass no. See, another thing too was I feel like, and this is just my thought, cause I feel like some men, they do things to women that they wouldn't do to other men.
Oh, there's a lot of that. Yeah,
I feel like that's what the dynamic was. I felt as well in that whole situation.
That's crazy.
So I said no, you can go and get da, right? Cool, right? So he was like, okay, like whatever, right? So he wasn't going to ask them to do it because like they weren't going to do it. And like, nigga, who the fuck? No, I'm like what? No, nigga, 100? No. You know how much 100 printouts cost on glossy cardstock?
What's that, like 1,000, 2,000? How much is that?
It's probably like a couple $100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I know a good 20 of them is like $36.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be way more than that.
I said basically said no, because like what the fuck, no, and I never agreed to work for him. And on top of that, you don't have any money. If you had money, you would already have your own team. You're in LA. The fuck? So anyway, that was that, right? So I guess that pissed him off, right? Didn't know it pissed him off, but I guess that pissed him off, right? Anyway, so then he starts to ask the singer's manager friend, who I'm cool with. He starts to ask the manager friend to start asking me for things for him, right? And I will say this: the manager friend, he is level headed, and he didn't like a lot of stuff. He was like, no, pay her. Like he would be like, pay her, no, like pay her, like no, like because they didn't like how I agreed to help the singer, and like, why are you they're like, why are you inserting yourself when she's helping so and so? Like, you're weird, right? But they're all friends, right? Anyway, so He's trying to get things together, right? So then, mind you, I have a 9 to 5, right? So the next attempt that he tried to make, before he really got mad, was he called me randomly one time, right? He called me randomly one time, and he wanted me to send something to someone. I think he wanted me to send a file to someone or whatever for him or whatever, right? I'm at work. I'm working. I said, no, I don't have time. I'm working. I'm right now in the middle of something. No, I can't. No. Because you're asking me randomly during my job. No. Or did you a fucking favor? No. Something like, no, I'm busy. No. Right? Whatever, right? So then, another time. So then he asked his manager friend, he wanted me to make an interactive, and the flyer that I made, he wanted me to make an interactive video of, he wanted me to animate the flyer, right? Yeah. And the manager friend is talking to me saying yeah, he wants you to do this. How much you want to charge? Because how much you want to charge? He said no, he needs to pay. How much you going to charge? How much you going to charge? Like saying you going to charge him, because what the fuck, right? And I said, I charged him something. It was something really small, like a little bit of money, because I'm like, this nigga broke. So I charged him a little bit of money, because I already made the flyer. So I was like, fine, a little bit of money, right? So I charged him a little bit of money, but the manager friend had to pay me. The manager friend had to pay me out of his pocket, right. and then when the rapper had his show, he took it out of the rapper's show money, right? But the manager had to pay for it, because it's like, this nigga broke, right? Cool, right? I guess he didn't like that he had to pay for that, right? So nigga, whatever, right? Fine. Then, so I made that for him. Then I think it was like a week before the show, he had the manager friend ask me something else again. He was like, he wants, he was talking about how he wanted some printouts again. He wanted some more printouts. He wanted some printouts, right? So he put me in a group chat. He made a group chat with me, the rapper, and the manager friend. And he's like, yeah, can you get these printed, these with my picture on it, printed, right? I said, okay, cool. So I called FedEx and I asked them for the pricing. Right. And then I replied with the pricing. I told the manager friend the pricing of it. I said, I'm not paying for your shit, nigga. I'm not paying for your stuff. I never agreed to this. Right. The fuck? So I said, yeah. So I'm texting. I didn't text the group. I didn't text the group chat. I texted the manager directly. I was like, hey, this is the pricing for this, and this, right? Sent the pricing. There was no response from the rapper, right? So I guess he was mad that I didn't pay for it, right? Whatever. Don't care. Anyway, the show's happening. I'm at the show. Of course, I get invited backstage because I'm involved. I still made the flyer for you for free, and I made I still helped your ass, right? So I got invited to the show backstage. Cool, right? He acted like he had an attitude with me. Didn't think too much of it, right? Whatever, right? Passed, whatever, cool, right? The show happened, whatever. So a couple days went by. The rapper ended up, I'm telling all the things. So the rapper ended up writing a thank you post, right, to everyone involved, right? He wrote a thank you post, but didn't thank me in the post, even though I made the flyer for him and everything, the flyer that everyone loved, all that shit. Didn't thank me, right? So I told the manager, I'm like, that was kind of weird that he didn't thank me, right? That was kind of weird. So then the manager went and told the rapper, he was like, yeah, Danielle said it was kind of weird that you didn't thank her in the letter that you wrote everyone else. And he was like, I told her thank you. Okay. Cool, right? You're weird. Whatever, right? Anyway, moving along, I'm continuing helping the singer that I agreed to help, right? Yeah. So he has shows booked. He has things going on, right? So I'm helping him with stuff, right? So I think he had a show where he had another show coming up, and I wanted to get more of the printouts. We needed more printouts. Mm-hmm. So I said, hey y'all, okay, cool, you got a show at so and so, great. I'm gonna go get some more stuff printed out for you, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess, of course, the rapper is still in the loop with the singer because the project is underneath his label, well, technically, whatever, right? Right. So I guess one of them told him that I was going to get some stuff printed for him, right? Whatever, right? So yeah, so one of them told him I was going to get some more printouts made for him. And so I guess he didn't like that. He was just like, why is she doing that when the venue has their own promo? I guess he was like, they have their own promo, so why is she making a flyer for him? And so he called me and was saying that like why, so why are you doing that when they are? I said, because at first I was like, what? At first I was confused. I was like, did so and so say that they didn't want me to get it printed out? Like, what's going on? I don't understand. He was like, no. Like, why are you making the flyer for him when they already have their own promo? I said, no, I'm not making a flyer for him. I'm just getting the stuff I already have reprinted. Right. I'm not doing nothing for him. I'm just getting it reprinted. Right. So then he was like, okay, well, why couldn't you do that for me? I said, what? I was so confused because at that point I had already logged out of work. This was like 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock at night. I had logged out of work and I was laying in my bed. I was going to take a nap. I was in the middle of taking a nap and I saw his number. I was like, I almost didn't answer the phone, but I was like, let me answer this phone because maybe he's gonna say sorry to me. My dumb ass.
Ain't nobody gonna say no.
My dumb ass. So I answered the phone. So I'm laying down, getting ready to take a nap, and he's calling my phone. So my son, so why couldn't you do that for me? I was like, huh? I was so lost. I was so off guard, taken off guard. I said, what? He was like, I mean, why couldn't you do that for me?
That's
I was
crazy.
like, I said, what? Why couldn't you get this stuff printed out for me? I said, didn't so and so tell you didn't so and so tell you what I said? Like, I didn't so and so relay the message to you? Like, because I was telling him about the pricing of it.
Right.
Like, didn't so and so tell you what it was? Like, what was up? And he was like, nah. I said, well, how do you know that I was getting stuff printed? Because I'm just like, I'm lost. So I'm just asking. I'm like, so how do you know I was getting so and so stuff printed again? What you mean? He's my artist, nigga. That's my artist, nigga. What you mean? I said, excuse me. I said, who you talking to?
Yeah.
Who you talking to? I said, who you talking to? And he was like, nah. You don't know. I'm not going to ask you for anything ever again. You're fucking fired. And he hung up the phone like a little bitch. I said, excuse. I was helping this nigga. This nigga is mad that I wouldn't do free shit for him. He doesn't have any money. He can't afford a team. So you're asking me to give you a favor because you don't have any fucking money. But this is why people shouldn't be bad people, because he got his karma. Actually, I know his business. So he got his karma back. Mm-hmm. But it's like, when you need people to help you, you have to be a good person, because karma is real.
Nah, facts.
Karma is very real, especially when you need people to help you, right? So then after he did that to me, I called the manager friend that I'm cool with. I said, your bitch ass friend just did XYZ to me. He was like, what? He did what? I said, yeah, like, what the fuck, right? So then, I guess in the group chat that we all had that I was in, this bitch ass nigga, he removed me from the group chat as well. Mm-hmm. And I guess he told them, he was like, yeah, Danny fired. So then they all like got on a group call with him, because they told me what happened. They all got on a group call with him and they was like, yeah, so why'd you do that? Like, that you could have just told her your grievances without doing all of that. Like, why'd you do all that? No, because she did it, she didn't do da da da. And they were like, she did you a favor and she doesn't work for you. She did you a favor out of the kindness of her heart. She doesn't work for you. She was doing you a favor. That's it. You inserted yourself. That's what they said to me. They still fuck with him, but that's what they said to me. Because he was telling, they were like, no, that's not cool. And they said that he didn't care. He didn't give a fuck. That's what they told me. I believe they're still cool with him, but they told me that they kind of told me that was fucked up, but they're still cool with him. But then they, I guess, I don't know, boys are weird. Like, they'll be cool with each other, but then still be talking shit about you behind their back. So like, it's weird. But like, so so he didn't give a fuck. His friends at least told him about himself, but he didn't give a fuck. So yeah, I was talking to them about it separately. I'm like, yeah, that was like, they were like, yeah, that was just weird. Like, that was weird. And so one of his friends, one of the friends that were involved, that's actually really close to the rapper, he was telling me, like, privately, he was like, he said, like, he was just like, don't ever do someone a favor unless you're 100% sure that they would do it for you. That's why I have to move like that from now on. Forever. Like, I would never, like, now I'm never going to do that again. Yeah. Like, only for my real friends. Like, that was just weird. And the thing is, I was telling the guy, I said, this is the I've never been disrespected from men like this ever in my life. That was weird as fuck.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's weird as fuck. You're a grown ass man. 30s.
That's wild.
Cussing me out because I didn't do free shit. That I didn't agree to do free shit for you, and you're his artist. He's your artist, but then you're acting jealous. Like, no, that's weird as fuck. But yeah.
Oh man.
So that's why and that's another reason why, like, I don't even freelance like that no more, because like, just dealing with different people it's exhausting. Everyone's not professional, everyone's not mature, everyone doesn't have their shit together. So it's like, I don't even like freelancing anymore. Like, if I know you, I might do it maybe, but I don't freelance anymore. Like, if I want to do some shit outside of my job that's creative, I'll do it on my own and make a page for it. That's what I'm gonna do. That's it. But like, I'm not freelancing because it's just too It's just you have to wean people out. It's just it's too much. But the fact that I was helping you when you couldn't afford a team, I was helping you. I didn't have to do shit for you, and I never agreed to work for you for free, bitch.
That's a fact.
So that's why like that whole Doechii thing kind of brought me back to that. Like I'm not going to, I don't want to work with any artists like that. I don't like it. Kudos to people that work with artists, but like definitely I feel like working with different artists, like, you know, because they want to live out their dreams, they want to accomplish their dreams. The industry is funny and fickle and all that stuff, right? So but it's like I feel like, you know, I just hope that people that are on these teams create boundaries. They set boundaries, because another thing too is that like I watch a lot of like YouTubers and stuff, and like a lot of people are cool. A lot of people are actually cool with their hairstylists and makeup artists or whatever, you know. But I would see like, some of them would be like, like, yeah, like, we all talk, and like, if someone's a bitch to us, we're going to let the other stylists know, like, oh yeah, they were a bitch to us. I don't think you should work with her. Like, that's not, you have to make sure that you keep a good rapport with your team.
For sure.
Period.
That's a fact.
So hopefully Doechii, she made a nice little humorous TikTok, thanking her team, and just like, hopefully, she apologized to them, and just, I know she was anxious. It was her first Met Gala, but hopefully she apologized to them. It's one thing to be anxious, but for you to be cussing like, give me my fucking umbrella, my fucking this, my fucking that, like this, that, like talking like that. With some people, they
oh yeah, no, fuck no, you're gonna be talking.
Yeah, some people will quit on you on the spot. Yeah. Be careful with that shit.
That's a fact.
So there's that. Next.